It's time to get unstuck. Do you love listening to this podcast? I'd love to have you give me a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. And if you'd like to help me keep the lights on, I'd appreciate a donation. You can do that at livingmoonmeditation.com/podcast. Are you tired of feeling stuck? Let's shift your energy. Start with my free quiz I made just for you. You'll get personalized tips for getting unstuck based on where your blocks are. You can find it at bit.ly/getunstuckchakraquiz. I have the link in the show notes for you. Cartomancy is a method of divination that utilizes a deck of cards. While the practice has been popular for hundreds of years, it has seen a recent surge in popularity. An uptick in acceptance of spirituality in witchcraft has led to a new wave of independently published and mass-marketed tarot decks hitting the market. What exactly constitutes cartomancy? The argument over what is and is not cartomancy can become heated when discussed. Though they may agree that various methods are forms of divination, many from the older schools of thought refuse to bestow the title of cartomancy on any reading that does not involve a standard deck of cards. In other words, they believe that cartomancy does not include tarot readings. There are other types of oracle cards which they also feel do not meet the standards of true cartomancy. Initially, cartomancy was done with basic playing cards. In many places, it still is done that way today. Tarot cards have somewhat negated the practice of reading standard playing cards. The principles are much the same, though. Different cultures have created unique sets of playing cards, but adaptations have been made which allow readings to be done using a variety of decks. In actuality, cartomancy can be done with the poker deck that you have in the junk drawer. Tarot cards can be fun and enlightening, but they aren't the only way to get good or accurate guidance. There are many superstitions about the cards themselves that are used for cartomancy. One of the most widely held beliefs is that the deck used for readings should never be used for anything else. The act of playing with the cards can ruin the fine edge of their accuracy. Some purists even say that no one except the owner of the cards should ever lay a finger on them. They must protect the cards from other people's auras and energy. The idea is that this will keep the connection between the cards and the medium undisturbed and clear. The tarot deck is much different than the regular deck of cards that you and I may be familiar with. For starters, it has more cards. They are also divided up differently. The tarot decks include 22 major cards that do not have an equivalent in a standard deck. The remaining cards are somewhat similar to your standard poker cards in that each suit represents something significant. Clubs, diamonds, hearts, and spades each equate to one of the elements that make up the world, which are earth, air, fire, and water. Of course, there are also the numbers on the cards that carry meaning. This is particularly true with the face cards. What causes many problems, and likewise many to doubt its relevance, is the dispute over the meaning of cards in identical decks. It can be difficult to engage people for an accurate reading if they are aware of these differences. One possible answer is that the cards play themselves out in accordance with the way the interpreter will draw them. Could it be the cards will be played in the right way no matter how you interpret them? Many cartomancers believe that this is the case, and thus the reason why disputes over interpretation aren't a big deal to them. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Get Unstuck with Michele Leffler. It's truly been my pleasure to talk to you today. If you like this episode or you think it will be useful for someone else, please consider leaving a review on your favorite podcast app. If you've got any questions, send me an email to hello@livingmoonmeditation.com. Here's to getting you unstuck so you can be grounded, joyful, and energetic. See you next time.